Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and this is a very important, very serious video, and I hope that you will share this with as many people as you can, because not only is this a problem for California, but if this spreads throughout the country like a lot of these stupid California laws do, this could be extremely detrimental to the Second Amendment and our right to keep and bear arms. Now, I'm going to go ahead and transition over here to the computer to show you guys some stuff, and what this is in regards to is microstamping. It essentially comes down to microstamping, but I want to show you guys something. Don't click away from the video, because you'll be amazed at what's actually happening. Now, I know that New Jersey and some other states are looking at, smart gun technology and things of that sort. Well, as a lot of you know, Smith & Wesson and Ruger have already pulled their semi-automatic pistols out of California because they do not have the technology, and the technology is also too expensive. So let me transition to the computer here. I'm going to put some screenshots up and show you exactly what's going on, because this is an actual ban on semi-automatic handguns in California. Eventually there will be none, and I want to show you proof that I have of that. Okay, so first thing we're looking at here is the State of California Department of Justice, Attorney General Kamala Harris, the roster of certified handguns for sale in the state of California. This by itself to me seems unconstitutional, but let me go ahead and read this to you. Effective January 1st, 2001, no handgun may be manufactured within California, imported into California for sale, lent, given, kept for sale, or offered exposed for sale unless the handgun model has passed firing safety and drop tests and is certified for sale in California by the Department of Justice. Private party transfers, curio relic handguns, certain single-action revolvers, and pawn consignment returns are exempt from this requirement. So, basically what it's saying here is if it's not in this list, you can't do anything with it. You can't bring it in the state, you cannot sell it in the state, you cannot transfer it, you can't even loan it to a friend to go shooting. Okay, it is basically illegal in the state unless it was grandfathered in, meaning that it was previously on the roster of handguns certified for sale in California. Okay, then you can do a face-to-face private transfer. One thing I could not do is, let's say it used to be on the sale, the roster for the handgun certified for sale. If it used to be on there, let's say I want one from Joe in Minnesota. Joe in Minnesota cannot send me that gun, even though it was previously approved for safety reasons. He cannot send me that gun because it has to be done in a face-to-face transfer. So if it's no longer on the list, it's something that at one point was on the list, the sale has to be face-to-face. And so therefore it inhibits you even more. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look. I want to show you guys something real quick here at the next screenshot. Okay, so what I did was I searched for all firearms, all pistols that are on the roster of handguns certified for sale. Okay, as you can see here, it says this list is valid for Monday, June 30th. Now I want you guys to notice something. It does say the make, the model, gun type, barrel length, caliber, and then there's an expiration date. Okay, that is a little bit confusing, because if nothing changes in that pistol by that expiration date, it's grandfathered in. Okay, the only time that expiration date would actually take place is if something changed on the, it could be the smallest, most minor thing. Let's say they change a spring in the trigger. Let's say they change the type of polymer that's used in the receiver. That pistol would automatically expire and need to be run through more testing, which could take quite a long time, up to a couple years, but needs to go through new testing in order to be placed back on the roster of handguns certified for sale in California. Okay, so that is a little bit confusing right there, but I want you guys to notice something. I'm going to go ahead and scroll or show another picture real quick here. Okay, so here's the next screenshot, and I want you guys to notice something. Now, I told you in the past that Ruger and Smith & Wesson were pulling their semi-automatic pistols out of California due to the laws requiring them to resubmit forms, microstamping, and other things of that nature. I want you to look at the list of approved handguns here for California. Now, if these guns, or if the guns that are not on this list but were previously on this list, are still at the FFL, the FFL can still sell these. So for instance, I called my FFL. He still has a couple of the guns that are not on this list anymore, but he can still sell those because they were on the approved list, as long as it's face-to-face, and then I could then again sell that to somebody else if it was face-to-face. Once those are gone, however, that's it. Now I want you guys to look at this picture and notice something. These are all revolvers. The only thing that you see here that is still currently approved for Sturm Ruger & Company is revolvers. Okay, essentially no semi-automatic pistols left in California for Ruger. If it's here, it stays here. If it's not here, it's not coming here. Okay, next picture. In this image of the roster, as you can see, I'm showing you guys Smith & Wesson, and this is a large part of the list of Smith & Wessons that are still approved in the state. And if you notice again, revolvers. Same thing as with Ruger. The only thing that's left is revolvers. It's either here in California or it's not coming in. You either have it or you don't. And that is the sad thing. This is absolutely a de facto gun ban. By making so many changes that these gun companies are unable to comply with a lot of the new laws, rules, and regulations, they've essentially banned us from having certain guns. Now, the thing to also remember is that pistols here in California are already limited. We couldn't have no PM30s. A lot of the there's a lot of Taurus. There was already some other companies that you just literally couldn't get here. I mean, there's some great guns, but because they didn't pass the California handgun tests as far as drop testing or different things that are absolutely ridiculous to begin with, if they didn't pass those things, they didn't make it into the state. So they were already banned from being in California. I mean, they didn't even make the list, which means they couldn't be imported into the state as it is. No private party transfers, no bringing into the state, no nothing. Now, I want to show you guys something else. I hope this video doesn't run too long, but this is very important. I want everybody to know about it because there is a de facto gun ban going on here in California. Now, I'm going to show you another image real quick. This is a list that I wanted to show you of some of the pistols that have fallen off of the approved list, which means you either got it or you don't, basically. And if you'll see here, this one's not particularly in alphabetical order. This list was created on Friday, June 27th, 2014. And if you can look at the bottom right here, it says this is page 7 of 45 pages of pistols and revolvers that have fallen off the approved list, meaning they're essentially done. Okay, they're gone. And as you can see towards the top there's the Ruger LCR, the LC380. I mean, these are some very popular pistols. And so, even some 1911s. I mean, you can kind of look at this picture right here, and I'll roll in a couple more pages so you guys can take a look at those paws if you need to. But 45 pages of pistols and revolvers that have recently fallen off the California approved list, meaning they were safe at one point. Okay, if you change, let's say on these revolvers, you might be asking yourself, why would a revolver fall off? Okay, as you can see here, let's say the Smith & Wesson 43C matte black aluminum alloy revolver fell off on February 28, 2014. Anything could have changed. If they changed the sights on that revolver, it fell off the list and needs to be resubmitted for safety testing in California. That's why you see a lot of revolvers on there as well. So let me roll in some pictures for you guys to look at there, and I'm going to transition over to another set that I want to show you guys. So here's the picture or the screenshot that I took for revolvers and pistols that have recently been added to the safety list. Now remember, these pistols and revolvers have been going through the works for some time. It's only now that they're actually being approved, and that's because they had their applications already in. Now, do you guys notice, and the timeline is right there at the bottom, okay, when it was updated. Do you notice a stark difference on how many were removed? 45 pages, remember that? Now let's look at how many were added. 2 pages. Not even a full 2 pages. Okay, now let's look at something else. Every single thing on these 2 pages that I can show you here, every single thing on these 2 pages is revolvers except for one. right there, the Colt 45 ACP pistol with a 5-inch barrel on June 5th, 2014. And why, you might ask? It is a limited edition American Eagle Old Glory tribute gun in stainless steel. Okay, this is not your average go out and shooter. So it made it in here with the rest of the revolvers because, you know what, applications are just not going through. Now, you might be asking yourself, how is this possible? Why do you still live there? This is completely unconstitutional. How does it fly? There are a series of court cases that are currently going on, but we did recently have a setback. Now, they are over the handgun approved handgun list being unconstitutional in its own right, and then the other lawsuit that is currently in the works is the microstamping lawsuit. Now, the microstamping lawsuit is a huge one because that is really what's keeping a lot of these firearms manufacturers from even reapplying their pistols so that they could get back on the approved handgun list. Now, the microstamping one in the courts just recently hit a setback. Basically, the judge said that he is going to delay any action in that matter because the opponents that are saying microstamping technology does not exist yet, the technology that does exist is too expensive and doesn't work properly. That's their argument. The judge, however, disagreed and said that they have not proven that the technology is impossible. I mean, that's really what it breaks down to. That's not legalese or anything. I'm not a lawyer. What I'm telling you is basically a breakdown of what I have read in several different articles, and it comes down to that. The judge basically said, you have not proven to me that it is impossible to microstamp these pistols. All you've said is that it's going to be a burden. Now, there's major gun manufacturers that are going after these laws. The NRA has backed some of these. I got to be honest with you, I'm not seeing as much of the NRA ILA as I should be seeing. Gun owners of America, Cal Guns and other places like that are kind of going after these laws. And excuse me, I'm not scripted here, so I'm just trying to talk. But there are some pending lawsuits out there and some litigation that is currently taking place. We have some large companies that are on the side of the Constitution and the California citizens that are currently fighting this. However, this is one of those things that doesn't get talked about enough or very much. Not a lot of people are talking about this because this is something that as a gun owner, I think most of us are aware of because we have to shop for our pistols based on this list. But there's a lot of Second Amendment supporters out there and constitutional supporters out there that are not aware of this. So, in doing all of my research, talking to my FFL and some other people, this is the information that I wanted to share to you. So I urge everybody, if you see any legislation coming down the pipeline that looks like it may be either A, microstamping, or B, any type of approved list. Okay, if you're in New York where they're really pushing you hard, or you're in New Jersey, Connecticut, something like that where things are kind of swinging negatively for us, keep an eye out for any type of approved list. Because the whole point is to say, guess what? It's not approved, you can't have it. And eventually you're going to be left with nothing but 5-shot revolvers. So, anyway, hope you guys are a little bit more aware now. Thank you very much. If you've stayed for this much of the video, I really appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Take care.